Hello, friends, and welcome back to Hobart's Library. My name is Emily, and I'm so happy to have you here. And if I don't seem happy, this is the third time that I have filmed this video. The first time, the audio was a disaster. And I thought, okay, do I release it with really shoddy audio? Or do I refilm it? So I thought, okay, I'll refilm it. That's the right thing to do. Because I've already released one video with shoddy audio. Well, let me tell you, that week that I was supposed to refilm it was the busiest week of my life. I work 6 days a week. 4 days I am a chimney sweep, and 2 days I am a cashier. On Sunday, that's my only day off, I have church, and I have, of course, my obligatory afternoon nap. I was thinking, when am I gonna film this video? When am I gonna film this video? I work every day other than Sunday. I'm not gonna film it on Sunday. That's also my cleaning day. That is my cleaning day. That is my church day, and that is my nap day. So I cannot do it on Sunday. On Wednesday, I have Bible study, and then I have church in the afternoon, and I work. So I work, then I have Bible study, then I have church. On Thursday, I work and then I have Bible study. And on Monday and Tuesday, I had a really busy work day. So I was like, I don't know what I would do. I did end up filming it. And guess what? The audio was messed up again. So now we have this tiny little mouse microphone, which belongs to my dad because he has a YouTube channel as well. And he puts way higher production value in. I do not. So I never would have got this tiny little mouse mic if it were not for the fact that my phone microphone is ruined right now. I don't know what happened. I tried to fix it. Nothing fixed it. I tried cleaning it. Did not work. I'm gonna have to take it somewhere and have it fixed. And I really don't want to do that. But I will if I have to. So, all that being said, today we are doing the Finally Fall book tag for the third time. And if this doesn't work, brother, I'm not gonna publish one. I was tagged by Celestria, and I feel really bad because I told her that I would post it like within a couple days of her tagging me, and it has been weeks. But I hope she will accept my sincerest apologies and that it will be okay. All right, let's get into the first question. So, our first prompt is in fall, the air is crisp and clear. What is a book with a vivid setting? And for this prompt, I have chosen 2 different books. The first one is maybe a little bit cliche, especially for me, but I have chosen Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. If you don't know what this book is about, you need to work on that. This book follows Elizabeth Bennet, and she has 4 sisters, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 4 sisters. And of course, the very arrogant yet extremely charming Mr. Darcy. This is a romance, and I find that like all of Jane Austen's books are so beautifully like written, even though they're very the settings are very simply described. I find them still very captivating, and I feel like you really get sucked into them, and you feel like you're really there. So I'm gonna go with this one, and I'm also going to go with A Castaway in Cornwall by Jolie Clayson because it would not be one of my videos recently if I didn't talk about Jolie Clayson. So, this book follows a young woman named Laura Calloway who lives with her uncle and his wife in North Cornwall, and she feels very like outcasted. She doesn't feel like she belongs in the society. She doesn't feel like she belongs in this place. And she often will walk the shores, as she's depicted doing on the cover, and find little things that have been lost at sea, and she will hold on to them for 1 year, as is customary, to see if anyone will come and retrieve that item. And so when she discovers a young man who has washed ashore after a shipwreck, she is very quick to protect him from smugglers who want to try to steal anything that's left on his body. And she takes him in and starts to work on getting him back to proper health. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding this man as he starts to recover. He has a strange accent, he has injuries that he can't really explain. Um, and so it's like this beautiful mix of like romance and mystery and sort of like coming of age a little bit, I guess. Not really coming of age so much as like finding herself and finding where she feels at home and stuff like that. This is a beautiful book, and the descriptions, you really feel like you can feel the cold mist of the ocean on your face, and it's like, it is so beautifully written. Oh my goodness. If you have not read Julie Gleason, I really recommend it. If you don't like whispering, I'm sorry. I feel like, at least for comedic value, it's gonna happen a lot with this little mouse mic. Okay, next prompt. Our next prompt is Nature is Beautiful, but Also Dying, a book that is beautifully written, but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. If you have heard me talk much recently, then you will not be terribly surprised by the book that I have chosen. It's another Julie Clayson. It is one of my current favorites, and that is The Painter's Daughter. This book is so good. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. This book follows a young woman named Sophie DuPont, and she is the town painter's daughter. This is in the 1800s, mind you. Well, a young man comes into town, and he is an artist as well, and he has come into town to paint their beautiful landscape. And in the process, him and Sophie start sort of being a little bit romantic with one another. Anyway, long story short, he ends up leaving and she's pregnant. Yikes. Well, Captain Stephen Overtree. Oh my gosh. Captain Stephen Overtree comes into town looking for his brother, Wesley, which is the man who has left. Um, because he is very much used to cleaning up after Wesley, going and finding him and sending him home and taking care of him, even though he is the younger brother. And what he finds is Sophie DuPont pregnant with his brother's child. And he makes her a proposition. He says, well, I think that I'm going to die in this upcoming war. That's a whole nother can of worms. I think I'm going to die in this upcoming war, so why don't you marry me? And in doing so, you can become a war widow, and everyone will assume that the child is mine, and then you won't be ostracized from society. You'll be taken care of by my family. Everything will be good, right? But Sophie is hoping that Wesley will return to her. This story deals with um, possible death. It deals with betrayal and abandonment and essentially like I'm gonna have to cut that part out because that was a spoiler. It deals with some really heavy topics, but it is one of my most favorite books that I think I've ever read. Okay, our third prompt. is Fall is Back to School Season, a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I have been in a reading slump recently. Um, I talked about how I'm going to be releasing a reading vlog for the Blades of Akhtar series, and I am still going to do that. I'm just taking a little bit of a break from reading those books because they put me in a little bit of a reading slump. And by a little bit, I mean I haven't read anything in a month. Not one thing. The only thing that I've read is like random chapters from nonfiction books. Um, Recently, for some reason, I have been obsessed with like health and wellness books and like okay, so I've been on a diet since April. I'm down almost 70 pounds, so how's about them apples? Um, but recently it's been less about diet in my head and more about genuinely eating healthy food because you can restrict your calories and that's a good thing to do as long as you're doing a healthy amount. Um, and you can lose weight. You could eat 1,500 calories worth of Oreos and that's all you eat in a day and you'll still lose weight, but you're not going to be healthy. Recently I've been very, very into the food industry and how it has
lied to us as an American population.
and it has been blowing my mind out of the water. But I started reading a book called This Is Your Brain on Food, which is about how the foods that we eat can affect our mental health, which I've struggled with depression probably since I was 15. So I was really interested to read about this. And I've been learning so much in this book. Um, like, I didn't know that 90% of the body's serotonin receptors are in your gut. I guess that makes sense, given that I'm such an idiot. Because she was like, why wouldn't the food that you eat affect your mood? When you have a headache, you take Advil in your mouth, which goes into your gut. If you're on antidepressants, you take an antidepressant in your mouth, which goes into your gut and affects your mood. So, yeah, eating foods can help lessen your symptoms. And I thought, well, duh, Emily, you big dumb idiot. Like, that seemed so obvious now that she said it. But I guess I just never thought about it. I don't know. I'm sure you all think I'm so stupid right now. But that's what I've learned recently. Okay, our fourth prompt is in order to keep warm, it's good to spend time with the people we love, a fictional family, household, or friend group that you'd like to be a part of. So, the first time that I recorded this video, I had a very difficult time choosing because most of the people that I read about die, or their families die, or their friends die, or everyone around them is dying. But then I realized I've recently been reading Nancy Drew, and those books absolutely slap. Nancy Drew is such a charming, sweet, funny, smart young lady, and I would love to be her friend. She is so delightful to get to know. I've started reading her books while I'm like walking on my treadmill, and I've been enjoying them so much. So if there was a fictional person I'd like to be friends with, it would be Nancy Drew. If there is a fictional family I would like to be a part of, it would be the Drew family. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground, a pile of fall colored spines. What we're actually going to do is I am going to flip you around and show you my bookshelf because the first two shelves are, well, the whole thing is rainbow colored, and the first two shelves are red, orange, and yellow with a little bit of green at the end. So we'll just show you that. All right, number 6 is Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside, a book where somebody is telling a story. So I was, oh my gosh, why did I never think of that one either? Okay, so here are the ones we're going to go with. First book that we are going to go with is Bram Stoker's Dracula. If you have not read this book yet, I really, really recommend it. I think even if you're not really a classics person, you'll probably like this if you like a slightly spooky read. Because I was not a classics person when I first picked it up. I was not a classics person when I first read it. I was 18 and I hated classics. And this is to this day one of my absolute favorite books. I think it is a little bit spooky, a little bit funny. It's not supposed to be, but I do think it's a little bit funny. Um, but it's okay. Let me tell you what the story is about. It's about this man named Jonathan Harker, and he sells property. And Count Dracula, who lives in Transylvania, of course, would like to buy some property in London. So Jonathan Harker makes his way over to Transylvania to talk to Count Dracula about buying this property. Bro, about buying this property, um, which leads to some very, very bizarre events. But this book is told um, in a series of letters to one another telling each other what's happening or journal entries. Um, I believe it starts with a journal entry from Jonathan Harker himself. Chapter 1 is from Jonathan Harker's journal. It also has letters from one character to another character, journal entries from other characters describing what they have been experiencing. Very, very good book. Highly, highly recommend. The second book that I am going to count because I think it's really interesting and I think a lot of people would really like it is, of course, The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. If you haven't read The Screwtape Letters, it's kind of a heavy read because it is written from the perspective of a demon, and it is in letters to his nephew who is trying to win a man over to their side, meaning they are trying to get this man to come away from God and end up in hell when he dies. Incredible book. It did take me some time to read it because it is very dark. Um, it's very heavy, but it is so good and so enjoyable, and I really, really recommend it. Okay, the next one, actually, both of the last two that I chose fit right into this category, and that is The Nights Are Getting Darker, a dark, creepy read. So I'm once again going to go with Dracula. I'm, of course, going to go with Screwtape Letters, but I'm also going to add another one in just so that we're not doing the same thing every single time. We are going to go with And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. If you have not read And Then There Were None yet, I highly recommend it. Um, it is a classic again, and classics don't usually scare me because our threshold of what is scary as a society has gone like way down because we have been completely desensitized to anything that's actually scary. Um, but And Then There Were None genuinely freaked me out. It's very much a Clue style murder where people are trapped in one building and are being picked off one by one. Um, super, super spooky, scary skeletons is that one. That one is that one freaks me out. Okay. The days are getting colder. A short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. The problem is the word short. Can I go with Nancy Drew again? Because I really like Nancy Drew, and those books are pretty short. Hold on. Let me think about this one. The only short stories I've ever read are not happy stories. stories. Like I was thinking of Tree Girl, which is about the Mayan genocide in Guatemala. Which, yeah, that technically had a happy ending, but like, well, as happy as it can get when someone's entire family's been murdered. Um, we're gonna have to go with Nancy Drew again, because I really don't have any good options for that one. Okay. Fall returns every year. An old favorite you'd like to return to soon. And for this prompt, I am going to go with More Than Words Can Say by Karen Whittemire. Sorry, y'all, somebody's having a fire. So, More Than Words Can Say, oh, this book is so cute. More Than Words Can Say is about a young woman. And now my dad is running his chainsaw. More Than Words Can Say is about a young woman named Abigail Kemp, who her and her father have run this bakery for quite some time, and now her father had this fly, dude. And now her father has passed away. The problem is, this is the 1800s, and Abigail cannot own a bakery by herself. She needs a man's signature on the deed, which means our girl Abigail Kemp needs a marriage of convenience. That's right! It's a marriage of convenience plotline, my friends. Oh, these books are so good. Plus, Karen Whittemire, I love Karen Whittemire's writing style. It's always so full of faith content. The characters are always so sweet. Their relationship's always so pure, but so like intimate, but not like in that way. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, these books are so good. I need to get back to this one. This one was really, really good. I liked it a lot. If you haven't read it, if you haven't read anything by Karen Whittemire, may I recommend More Than Words Can Say? Okay, our final prompt is fall is the perfect time for a cozy reading night. Favorite cozy reading accessories. Okay, I don't really have any reading accessories. Um, Other than my couch and my little chair and my little fireplace back there. Maybe like a blanket. I don't really use anything when I read. I mean, I do sometimes use book darts. Um, when I'm reading my Bible, I use color-coded um, tabs, and I really, really like using those and highlighters. But other than that, I don't generally use anything else. Um, we're gonna go with my colored book tabs that I use when I'm reading my Bible because I really, really, really enjoy using those when I'm reading my Bible. It's doing Bible coding has really helped me be even more involved with reading my Bible. It's helped me like dig deeper and pull a lot more out of the scriptures while I'm reading. So that's what we're gonna go with. All right, so finally we get to tag people. I'm going to tag everyone who is watching this video, as I always do, and as I probably always will, because I like being included and I like making other people feel included. So if you are watching this video and you have not been tagged and you would like to make a video, even if you've never made a YouTube video before, if you want to, you should do it. And I think it'd be really fun. And you could tell everybody that I tagged you personally because I did. This is me saying to you directly, I am tagging you, whoever you are. All right, my friends. Celestia, I am genuinely so sorry that it took me so long. I've been feeling so guilty about it. I've just been so tired and so busy. And I'm sorry to everybody else that I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. I've been so tired. I've been so busy. I haven't read anything in literally a month. I have not. I've tried to pick up books and I just haven't been able to get into it. So I am very, very sorry that it has taken me this long to do this tag. I promise that I will try to get back in the swing of things. If it takes me a little bit longer to upload videos as opposed to the every week schedule that I was doing, I apologize and I hope that you will extend a little patience with me because I don't know when my schedule is gonna calm down. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to read again. Hopefully this week I'll get a little bit of reading in. Um, oh, also, other big news, a couple things. First, I'm going to the Ark Encounter the 26th of this month. So that's super exciting. Let me know if you want to see any of the stuff that I see while I'm there. I'd be so happy to upload a short little video. Probably not like one of my normal, like 30-minute long videos, but it'll probably be a few minutes long of just the little things that I see while I'm there. I would love to film a little bit of stuff for you guys to see. And then also I bought a car. That doesn't really affect this, but I am sharing that news with everyone because I am really happy about it and I'm really excited about it. This is her right here. She is so cute. I have named her Cholula. She is so she's like my dream car. She's so cute and boxy and little. She's like the size of my big toe. Um, and I've always had trucks. Um, my first car was a really little car, but then I got a really big truck, and those are really difficult to drive, so I almost never drove in it. And now I have Cholula, and I love her. She's so cute. I hope you like her. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I am so happy to have you, and I hope to see you again next time at Hope Arts Library. Bye bye.